I just thought that I just knew, not even thought, I just knew I was going to make it out of episode 1 without any type of deep, visceral, emotional reaction. I thought that episode 1 of this season 5 of Love is Blind was going to come in, find a nice little seat in the corner, and chill out and not be big stressful. Leave it to the last 10 minutes of the episode where the step and fetch it Negro, and yes, I'm calling him the step and fetch it Negro because that's what you give it, Uche. I didn't like your arrogance from the moment that you started speaking, but I literally told myself internally, I'm sitting here having dialogue with myself while watching this. Like, Erica, who are you to downplay this man's confidence? I got the ick because I felt, my first thought is this nigga is arrogant. He is so damn arrogant. And I said, no, he is confident. He's accomplished. He's intelligent. Sometimes it can come off away, but he deserves to be. Society wants to downplay us, Erica. Society wants to humble us. Society wants us to play small. Society wants us to dim our lights. And you know what that feels like because it's constantly done to you. Let that man live, Erica. Let that man live. And lo and goddamn behold, I shouldn't have let this man live for the other 40 minutes of the damn episode because he's too busy judging the hell out of Aaliyah about a relationship that happened 2 damn years ago and the cheating that occurred because she wasn't sexually satisfied. And no, I ain't making excuses for cheating. I have never cheated on a partner. Have I been cheated on? Yes, I have. Multiple times, one of which a baby came out of it. Actually, you know what? This ain't about me. Because Lydia, you was doing really good coaching her up and being there for her when she was breaking down after this whole assault, this verbal assault that Uche gave, and I'm going to get back to that. But baby, it's not about you. You did too much when you started talking about, oh, you're just like me. I see myself in you. You're me. I'm me. You're me. Shut up. Shut the hell up. The same way this ain't about me. This ain't about your ass, Lydia. And I'm going to come back to you. Uche, now I'm on your goddamn head. You couldn't even make it the last 10 minutes of the episode without me getting on your goofy ass. Step and fetch it. Arrogant. Think I'm God's gift to women and I'm the hottest fucking thing walking and I'm going to talk down to this black queen that prior to me asking the question that she was very honest and transparent about, I was very much so feeling her. But now all of a sudden she just scum under my goddamn boot because she had a cheating incident in a relationship that happened 2 years ago. She says 2 years is a long time. You say, no, it's not. Then you have the nerve while you're berating her and trying to make sure that she feels it and knows how shameful and guilty she should feel to say, yeah, I cheated as well, but I was 18 and it was only a kiss. Guess what? In God's eyes, a sin is a goddamn sin. So whether you kill somebody or punch somebody in the face, both of them is wrong. So while you sitting on your goddamn mountaintop judging, how about you look at that? You actually cheated as well. But because you feel like it was a lesser cheat and longer ago, then it's supposed to be okay for you and it gives you full reign to come at this girl crazy. Have you lost your goddamn mind? Who the do you think you... Yo, I am like really so perplexed. I am so perplexed how I got here. Because the entire episode, for the most part, was smooth sailing. The only person who gave me the ick, the entire first 40 minutes, was Stacy's goofy ass. Because something's wrong with her. And I don't know what it is just yet. So I can't even, in this particular video, put a pin on it. Because I'm literally trying to record this right after I watch it. But Stacy was the only one who I was on. I wasn't necessarily on her head, but I was like, I don't like this hoe. And I'm going to figure out why I don't like her as she continues to talk. But now, Uche, you done taken the top spot. How dare you? How dare you ask somebody to come to you vulnerable, open, and honest so that you can fully get to know them. And then you weaponize their past lived experiences, in this case, a damn mistake, against her in a way to berate her like that. And then JP, I get you trying to big up your friend or whatever the hell you trying to do, but what the hell do you mean can't he forgive her? She didn't do shit to Uche. There's nothing for Uche to can forgive. Are you kidding me? This is what we're dealing with. And this is another thing. I actually wrote this down in my notes. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing from men. I literally, over on my main channel, Erica Vane TV, if you don't know, shout out to all y'all over there if you all over there, because it's 30,000 of y'all, and I'm so grateful. But I literally wrote this note because just today I responded to a man who commented on my Zatima video and said, this is why men are not emotionally honest with women, because you guys weaponize it against us. And I'm like, I am so fucking sick of this narrative of you can't be emotionally stable, you cannot be emotionally available, or you cannot be emotional, you cannot be honest to a certain extent, you cannot be real with women about your experiences and what you're actually going through, because we throw it back at you and we don't let you live it down. No, we hold you accountable. We are honest about things, and sometimes we're critical. This man, not only, like, it's one thing to not agree with it, he could have said his piece and let it ride. He literally continued to berate this girl. So when I say I don't want to hear shit from men, because black women take the criticism, take the call out, take the judgment, and still look at ourselves and say, what could I have done? Girl, it's nothing that you could have done differently. The boy asked you to be honest with him from the jump. Y'all are dating in these goddamn pods, and you were 100% honest. You didn't shy away from answering any of the questions that he asked. He continued to probe about some shit that ain't even not even his business. And cool, if you were worried about if this girl's going to cheat on you, once she said that she's not going to do that and she learned from that mistake, that should be where it was dead. Meanwhile, now after the fact, you got this girl crying back in the women's quarters, and she's so worried about how you think she's damaged goods and you don't want her, and you think that she's going to cheat on. I don't want to hear shit from men, because we got to take y'all's call out, and then we still make ourselves better for it. We still question ourselves. We still figure out how we're going to navigate with your bullshit. But when we make very real and less critical criticisms, that becomes y'all big ass shield to say, oh, well, I can't be real, or I can't be honest, or I can't be in touch with my emotions. Go to hell. Uche and the rest of the men like you, go to hell. And while it added a little bit for him to be questioning why, or not necessarily questioning why, he did start to like create counterpoints for his own criticism and judgment. And he's like, well, the fact that she told me and she didn't have to tell me, that does say something. You have already done the damage. So even you thinking that in the moment, this is all the shit that you should have processed in your head before all the other goofy shit fell out of your mouth. Because how dare you? That man really disgusts me. And this is before he started talking to Aaliyah. But when he did his date with Miriam, which I get that they weren't actually vibing or whatever, but I wrote down a note that said his questions are so pointed, so direct, and very much so playing like I gotcha. Like it's almost like he was interrogating everybody. Y'all not on dates, you're on interrogations. And that's one of the first feelings that I got when he opened up his mouth, aside from his damn arrogance. And I wrote down, are you looking for a partner or an employee? Because on his first interaction with Aaliyah, the way that he talked about her ambition, it gave you were looking for an employee, not a goddamn partner. Uche is not it. And I wanted so badly, honestly, y'all, just to keep it a buck, I wanted so badly to watch this season and have a black couple that I could just really root for. I was praying to God that Netflix would not shackle us back to a goofy ass storyline between a black man shucking and jiving for a white woman. And as thus far in episode 1, I don't see that yet. We don't see no Kwames, no SKs popping up just yet, right? But Uche is a whole other type of problem. Demon, if you will. And yes, I said it, and I don't give a damn. Because he deserved all the goddamn smoke. I wrote down that he's judgmental. He judged Aaliyah for cheating 2 years ago, chastised her, and then tries to play therapist. But aggressive-ass therapist at that. Clearly, I need to talk about the rest of the episode, but Uche is on my goddamn nerves so bad that that's the only thing that I'm taking away from this goddamn episode. Oh, actually, the other thing is, I actually kind of like Izzy. I don't know what it is. I think it's his vibe, because he don't really say too much, but I like him. And when he said something on one of his dates, I can't remember who it was with, but he said that a woman at a bar took his hat off and then yelled out ill and ran out. I don't know what the hell some of you women are on, but y'all gotta be fucking for real and stop it with the foolishness. Because in what world do you do that? Why in the hell would you? When I'm not saying that these things don't happen to men, but it just boggles my mind that some women have the audacity. And you know what? I'm not even going to say some women, because he didn't say what the racial nationality of this woman is, but it has to be a white woman. I don't know no black women that are walking up to men in bars, snatching their hat off, looking at their bald head and saying ill and then running out. I don't know no black women that's doing it. I don't know all the black women, but I don't know no black women that's doing it. Either way, it's dead ass wrong. You don't have to be attracted to everybody. You don't have to desire everybody. Everybody ain't gonna be your cup of tea. But keep it up for cute and stop being rude to people out here. Y'all being rude for no goddamn reason. And another note on Izzy. Lydia gets attracted to him so quickly. And one of the notes I wrote down was that she was thirsty very early on. She couldn't stop saying, oh my gosh, she's from Puerto Rico, so her accent gets in the way a little bit. And I don't like to call women thirsty. So when I say it, please understand it must be that it's very clear. It's not an inkling. It's a whole waterfall of damn thirst. And personally, I feel validated and vindicated in that initial assessment of her, because when Izzy tries to let her down easy and let her know, like, you know, we just don't have we don't have a connection, she starts crying. She says that she has a lifetime of craving love. And I'm just like, is she saying this in the damn pod or is she in the confessional? She was in the pod. And it's like, girl, I get it. I get that rejection sucks. I get that, you know, wanting someone who doesn't want you sucks. But you are in a social experiment for love, dating upwards of 20 men over the course of 10 days. And we are now like less than 3 days in. And you are so smitten with this man that you're crying and professing that you have been craving love. It's given, you just need somebody to return some type of desire. This isn't even real love. And this shit is weird. You need a therapist, not a partner yet, because I don't even think that you're ready. Like, you seem so just deeply desiring of some type of male validation. It's like, girl, you got to get to a point where you love and validate yourself first. After that, like, first date, she says, I hope I see you in my dreams. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck? I'm like, this is a whole new way to flirt. Maybe I don't know how to flirt. Because it's one thing to make sure you show your interest, but then it's a whole other to just be out here giving all types of desperate. And then after, you know, he says like he's into other girls and he's trying to let her down easy, she's like, well, what do you think is missing? And he gets to say the chemistry. And I yelled out, girl, the chase. You literally, like, every part of y'all conversation, one, you keep interrupting him. And every other thing that you coming back with is just how you like him. And you agree and it's the same for you, same for me, like, y'all, he's not actually getting to know you. Y'all are not actually going nowhere in this conversation. It gives that you just like how he goddamn sound and you're like, okay, it's him. That's it. That's not what this is. That's not what we're here for. And my note that I wrote down was that Izzy didn't do anything to Lydia, because it's not funny, but it's interesting because Aaliyah is the one, and this happens earlier, before Aaliyah has her moment with Uche, and she needs the coddling and the support. This happens with Izzy and Lydia, and Aaliyah is the one to like comfort her when she comes back to the women's quarters. And while I don't think that Aaliyah meant this in this way, part of her statement is like, don't let him do this to you. You deserve to be loved. You deserve a man who knows what he wants, all of this. And I'm like, girl, I hear you, but like, he didn't do anything to her. He did not lead her on. He did not lie to her. The moment that he realized that she was too deep in and he wasn't there, he communicated that. They don't have chemistry at best, and they don't have mutual interest at worst. And as I mentioned, while the rejection hurts, it's better to just be real with your damn self. Nobody owes you, or you're not entitled to somebody's love and desire just because you want it. Like, what the hell? Before the whole Uche thing happened, that was like the biggest thing I was going to note about this whole damn episode. And now Uche didn't eclipse everybody. Uche has single-handedly become the complete and utter villain that I want to annihilate. Now, I wasn't even really thinking about Aaliyah. She was not remarkable enough, because just from what she was saying, it wasn't nothing that really stuck out. Not that she's not great or nice or whatever, but she just wasn't as remarkable as the other things that I was like taking notes on. But now I'm fighting for her, standing 10 toes down, ready to step behind me, Aaliyah. I actually got, I think I got Chris and JP confused. Because I wrote down emotionally unavailable or attached. And I think that was JP, because Chris tells the story about how a woman basically raped him in Mexico. And that really touched my heart. And I feel so bad for him. And I thought that he was JP when he was saying it. So then I went back in my notes and I was like, oh, I get it now. He's emotionally insecure because of what happened. And maybe he can't trust women. But I don't know enough. I only know the story about the woman in Mexico for Chris. And I think that JP is the one that I feel like is just very like hot. Like he's not hot or cold. He's very neutral. He says he's interested in women, but like the way he says it is like, you don't seem like you're interested in this girl. You don't actually seem like this girl is the number one. Like he seems very, very, very indifferent. So I gotta keep watching, because I literally wrote down I'm confused. I wasn't sure if I was like taking notes on Chris or JP. Aside from like, I know that Chris has the woman in Mexico story. I don't know if the emotionally unavailable part was the JP. I think it was JP's character. Taylor seems so genuine, so sweet. And I thought it was really, really dope for her to have that very vulnerable moment in the confessional where she talked about how she didn't love herself before, but she's ready now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, I know what that feels like. Milton and Lydia, I wrote down, because I guess they were like one of the first dates, but I don't even remember what the hell Milton was doing or saying. I don't even remember who Milton is at this point. I'm so goddamn angry about Uche. Who else did I write down? Miriam was 31. Answers questions were weird and inconsistent. Oh yeah, Miriam sounded like she was lying. Like she worked abroad but was moving back to Houston, and will be moving back to Houston in a few weeks, but then she already moved back to Houston. Like, girl, pick a lie, stick to it. Shit. And then I already told y'all I think that Stacy is weird. I think that she's rude and she might be the mean girl of this season. I don't have any notes on anybody else. Let me go ahead and press play on episode number 2. If you want to catch my initial reactions, I have a Discord server, which is linked in the description box down below. And under the what I'm watching right now, there is an entire channel for Love is Blind season 5. And I actually record voice notes in the moment so that y'all really understand what I'm thinking and feeling. Don't mind some of the cussing, parental advisory, whatever they say about vulgarity, because it's a lot. Give this video a like. Hope that you enjoy. Drop your thoughts on the first episode in the comment section down below. I will be checking it out and responding to y'all, and I'll see you in episode number 2.